So I guess getting off that tangent a little bit, let's talk about this project you're working on, the Really Rude Stinkbug. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So it's weird. It's an absurdist romantic comedy, which I'm not sure is a genre of film that is very popular. But
I can't say I can't think of another one off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's funny. My professor asked me to look for shorts that represent the tone of my film, and it was so hard trying to find one. But the film started out when I was in high school, and I went to a performing arts high school for theater. We had a playwriting class, and my best friend in the class wrote the weirdest, funniest. It was 50 pages of complete and utter jokes. It was so funny. And the premise was this lesbian couple who was very off the walls, very bouncing around, blunt, like crazy, these two crazy women. One of them saves the life of a stink bug, and he becomes 6 foot tall. He's human-sized, and he is an asshole. And he just ruins their lives and makes their relationship harder. And I thought it was really funny. And I asked for my friend's permission to adapt it into a pilot. And I did. And then our senior seminar class was coming around, and we have to pitch our ideas to our professors and to our senior class. And I really wanted to direct something, but I had no ideas. And so I took the pilot I wrote, and I shortened it so much and cut out a lot. And I made it a 10-minute short and really focused on the relationship of these two women rather than the absurdity of it. So, so my senior seminar film is about our protagonist, Lena. She's a very controlling kind of woman. She's scared of committing to her girlfriend fully, and her girlfriend is this off-the-walls, very fun, very party girl type of character. And so at the start of the movie, these two women are already... There's a tear in their relationship, and then this 6 foot stink bug, who is a human in a very poorly made cheap costume, sort of like Wilfred, comes along, and he, instead of being the final straw in their relationship that would end it, this weird creature coming in, it sort of brings them closer together. And yeah, I'm really excited. We start filming in early April. We just casted, and we just got fully funded. So I'm very, 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 very excited to just have fun with my crew and my cast and make this film weird and funny. And I'm very happy that DeSales, which is a Catholic school, is letting me make a film about a lesbian couple adopting a stink bug. It's something that I didn't think a Catholic school would allow, but...
yeah, it's very off the walls.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
But they're allowing it. I don't know if they really know if they'd read the whole script, but they're letting me make it, and I'm so excited to make it. I'm so excited to direct, and it's very stressful, but it's fun. At the heart of it, it's fun, and I just love it.
Yeah, so that's really cool. That it sounds like it's been a long time idea that you've been really fascinated with, and that's always fun to see those come to fruition. Especially because it's just like it feels like your baby.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It really does. It really does feel like my baby, and it feels like I'm finally doing something with this idea that I was obsessed with for the past 4 years, and I thought was the funniest, most original, creative idea, and that whole. Though I changed pretty much everything from the original play, besides the premise. I mean, all creative. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, when someone like owns something. Like I want to give credit.
Creative rights. Credits, yeah.
All creative credit for that premise goes to Alexander Hilly, who wrote the original play. So I'm very indebted. He's going to try to show up on set when we actually start filming. So I'm very thankful for him for being so funny and weird and helping me make this funny, weird thing come true.
Right, yeah, and that just goes right back to the collaborative process. It just sometimes you just need that little external force to give you that brilliant idea that becomes your passion project.
Yeah. And
sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say this is my passion project. That was it.
Okay. So you mentioned earlier, you said that you recently got funded. That was a really impressive thing because from the beginning I saw you created, was it an Indiegogo or a Kickstarter?
It was an Indiegogo, yeah.
Yeah, so you created an Indiegogo campaign to get the funding to produce the film, basically. And I was like, oh man, yeah, that's really cool, because I have tried that myself with not as wild success that you've had it, but it is kind of a scary thing to be like, hey, I don't have anything concrete yet, but here's my idea. Please give me money to make this a reality, and I don't know how far it's going to go, and I don't know if it's going to pay off, but put your faith in me, please. Like, just talk about like what that whole experience was like, creating that Kickstarter and then seeing all that support come in once you put it out to the public.
Yeah, it was really mind-blowing. For the Kickstarters and the Indiegogo, our school doesn't require we do that. A lot of film schools, like bigger film schools, will pay for the senior thesis films. Our school is small and private. It's not going to do that. So we have to get our funding ourselves. And the last few years is when the students have started making their own Indiegogos or their own Kickstarters with pretty good success, because I think it's mostly families donating. And I think because it's part of a school or it's part of a project, like a class project, kind of. So I think they know there has to be something like they're going to make it no matter what, because they have to for the project. So right. I think families are a little bit more willing to donate with that. But I was really worried for a long time that we weren't going to get the funding. And I had been pestering people. And I'm never the type of person to ask for money. I hate asking for money. Mm-hmm. And it feels like really embarrassing to be like, hey,
right, yeah.
I'm making this film. Would you mind donating?
Mm-hmm. I think Kevin Smith had said at some point, he was like, filmmaking is the most inconvenient hobby to have, because anyone else can just, like an artist can, like a songwriter can just play a few chords on the guitar, or like an artist can sketch something, but a director has to say, give me $20 million and Ben Affleck.
Yeah, you really need money to make a lot of success. I mean, you don't, but it certainly helps. And so I was very worried for a while. But then looking at the people who did donate, because you can see who did donate, you can see whose email. It was weird seeing people that I never thought would be so supportive, being so supportive. Like, my ex-boyfriend donated, which was like really weird. Yeah, and like the parents of like friends from high school donated, and yeah, and it's weird that you think there are people that are like so close to you, like my brother or some close friends, that you think, oh, they might chip in, they might help out, but they don't, because times are hard, obviously. And I put it up during Christmas time, so I totally get why it was hard for people to donate. But then you see some random people that are just supporting you from afar and giving you money, and it's like, wow. Like, there were a few alumni who gave me money because they've been through it, but it's very. It made my heart very warm and very big when I saw that there were people that I don't really talk to that were giving $30, $20 because they believed in the project. And that's something that really just made me a very happy camper. And it still does, that there are people who will support you in your passion projects and your dreams, even if they're not super close to you. You know, there are people out there that will support you.
Right. Yeah. It's very, I guess, like, heartwarming to like have this like idea and then be like so unsure, and kind of like, I don't know the word for it, but like it does kind of feel like you're putting all your eggs into one basket and being like, I hope this works. And it's such a stressful such a stressful thing to go through, just like sitting there like constantly refreshing the page.
That's what I was doing. Like during all my classes, I was sitting on my laptop like refreshing the Indiegogo. It's so stressful because you really don't know whether or not you're going to get $5 or fully funded. You don't know whether or not people are going to respond to the project. So it's just putting your heart out on the line and hoping people will donate.
So what was the full amount you were asking for?
So we asked for $2,500, which was $1,000 less than the other two senior seminar films that got picked. So we got fully funded. Was
it a case where you got pretty much exactly what, like, fully funded, or did you go over, or how close was it?
We got $20 over, but Indiegogo also took $300. So
for
we
their
only
like service
got,
fees and all that.
So we
Okay.
only got $2,100, which our school at the end of the year will give each of the films $300 reimbursement. So we knew that going into it. So we knew that no matter, like, if we were to ask for $2,500 and Indiegogo would take $300, we would get that $300 back.
Right.
So our budget is still $2,500, but sorry, I don't remember the question.
No, it's okay. I was just asking about like how much you were asking and how much you got. Like, so yeah, that's really cool that you got fully funded. That's just really impressive. Like, again, as someone who has tried that route before, just because I hate asking for money, I always try and do something as low budget as I can, or pull as many favors as I can. I've only recently tried to do something where I asked people for money, and it didn't have nearly as wild success that you had. So congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you said you begin shooting in April?
Yep, the first 2 weeks of April is our shooting time slot. We have each film is allotted like this 2-week time slot, and our professor makes the schedule. And so I'm going last because we have to get a costume, a stink bug costume, which there is none of. So we hired a costumer and we're making do. So we're going last, which is the first 2 weeks of April. So those 2 weeks I will be a stressed out mess. But
gotcha.
Right now I'm fine.
Yeah, it hasn't set in yet.
Yeah.
Actually, I think So the way that I have this scheduled out, I think this will be airing right around the time that you're in production.
Oh my god, that's so exciting.
So if you we're, for those listening, we're recording this back in February, but yeah, I think that the way I have this set up, this will air probably around the same time that you're going into production. So everybody, please send some well wishes Jackie's way.
Please send prayers, send stink bugs my way, please.
I'm really looking. What is your plan for when it's it's a thesis film? So I mean, obviously you're gonna have that screened to sales, but are you planning on like taking that to like local festivals?
Yeah.
What's your plan with it?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think any film you make, submit it to free festivals. At least get people to see it. You don't have to, because festivals cost a lot of shmoney. But a free festival, just submit it. Like, at least get your name out there. And even if you don't think your work is good, just try it. Just try getting it out there, and maybe someone will like it. And then you can put that you got submitted into this festival on a resume, So I'm definitely going to submit it. Whether or not it turns out how I hope it will turn out, I think, unless it's a complete abysmal disaster, which I think I have a great crew and great cast, so I don't think that's going to happen. But even if it doesn't turn out how I really want it to turn out, I think I'm still going to submit it because you never know who's going to like what. And I'd rather get my name out there and than not,
Yeah, it's definitely, and that's just a whole other really fun, rewarding part of that process is like seeing something that you've worked so hard on up in front of a screen, in front of a whole bunch of people. There's nothing like it.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess my last question about that, before we go into the film discussion, you're not really far along in the production process, but do you have any like funny or interesting stories about the process so far that you want to share?
Well, it's funny because this process has started since I pitched the film in September. So it's a whole year-long process, and it's funny that other people in the department, they've heard about it, they heard it got chosen, and they've agreed to work on it, and then I'll talk to them about it, and they're like, oh, wait, it's really about a stink bug? You really have... And I'm like, yeah, no, like, it is. And it's funny because our campus has a shit ton of... Can I curse? Can I say shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can say whatever you want.
I don't know, like, this is a PG.
No, definitely not PG. You can say whatever you want.
Our campus is a nature campus, so we have a shit ton of bugs. And my first AD just texted me yesterday, and she said a stink bug just fell from the sky in our arts building. And I was like, that's it. That's a sign. It's great. And it's funny, anytime anyone mentions an insect, I feel like they like look at me or like get brought out.
Right,
Like I'm not obsessed with insects. I just think the idea is funny.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like, and that's also, you have like a little bit of free marketing too. Like, I mean, because stink bugs are everywhere, so you could just like as a publicity stunt, you could just capture a whole bunch, release them into the wild, and be like, come check out this film.
Yeah, it's funny because I really want a live stink bug in the film, which I don't know how well it's gonna happen. If we can't get it, I have a plan for it. But I've had another friend text me saying there's a stink bug in her apartment. Do I want it? And I was like, and I thought about it, and I'm like, kind of, yeah. Like, I think my friends might give me the stink bugs in their house. I don't know how I'm gonna I don't know what a stink bug eats. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna take care of a stink bug for the next 2 months. And I don't think my housemate will like it very much if I have a conglomeration of stink bugs living in our apartment. But I think for the next few months I might just collect like live stink bugs. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So it's certainly it's an interesting film, and there's going to be a lot of funny. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of funny shit happening on set.
Well, yeah, we'll definitely check in and give you guys updates how this goes. But so yeah, the Really Rude Stinkbug. If you're local to our area, I guess look for it in whenever it makes its festival debut.
Yeah.
And then are you just gonna like put it online or like Vimeo, YouTube, or something like that after that whole?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try a festival run for about a year and a half. I think it's
okay.
What, like a festival run is like what, like a year to 3 years, a year to 2 years, something
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think after about a year and a half of festival run, I'll put it up on Vimeo.
Okay.
And just let everyone see the weirdness.
All right, so I guess everyone check back in a year and a half when the Really Rude Stinkbug makes its public online debut.